Welcome back to another transformative episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that unlocks limitless potential, building a growth mindset. Joining us is an extraordinary guest, Dr. Christopher Nolan, a renowned psychologist, best-selling author, and mindset coach who's empowered thousands to embrace challenges and thrive through learning. Christopher, it's an absolute privilege to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly honored to be here and explore a subject that's not just about thinking differently, but about transforming how you see yourself, your possibilities, and your entire journey.
I'm so excited to hear your insights. A growth mindset sounds empowering, but it can feel tough to shift when we're stuck in doubt or fear. Christopher, let's start with the big picture. Why is building a growth mindset so essential for success and fulfillment, and how does it shape our lives?
That's a fantastic question, Emily, and it really gets to the core of why a growth mindset is so vital. A growth mindset, as pioneered by Carol Dweck, is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It's essential because it shifts you from seeing challenges as threats to viewing them as opportunities to grow. This mindset fuels resilience, creativity, and adaptability, allowing you to pursue goals with courage, bounce back from setbacks, and find joy in the process of becoming better. Without it, you might avoid risks, cling to comfort, or let failure define you, limiting your potential. With it, you embrace life as a learning journey, where every step, success or stumble, builds a richer, more fulfilling path. I think of someone like Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His growth mindset turned setbacks into stepping stones, inventing the light bulb and reshaping the world. Early in my own journey, I was a school counselor in Austin, trapped in a fixed mindset. I'd shy away from tough cases, fearing I wasn't smart enough, convinced my skills were set. My confidence waned, and my impact felt small. But when I embraced growth, studying new methods, seeking feedback, everything changed. I took on challenges, my counseling thrived, and I built a coaching practice that's touched thousands through books and talks. A growth mindset doesn't just pave the way to success. It transforms how you experience life, turning obstacles into invitations to evolve and dreams into realities you dare to chase.
That's such an inspiring way to frame it, Christopher. A mindset that turns obstacles into invitations. Edison's persistence is so motivating. You mentioned your own shift as a counselor. Can you walk us through how someone can start building a growth mindset, especially if they feel stuck in self-doubt or a belief they're not enough?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to reframe challenges as opportunities. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," try, "I can't do this yet, but I can learn." This simple word, "yet," opens a door to possibility, reminding you that skills grow with effort. Practice catching negative thoughts and flipping them to focus on progress. I draw inspiration from Maya Angelou, who said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." Her growth mindset carried her from hardship to literary legend, embracing every lesson along the way. When I doubted myself, I'd avoid tough students, thinking, "I'm not good at this." It shrank my world. I felt stuck, uninspired. Angelou's wisdom helped. I caught thoughts like, "I'm failing," and reframed them. "I'm learning to connect." I studied one new technique weekly, like active listening. My sessions deepened, students opened up, and I earned a district award. I coached a client named Sarah, a barista who believed she wasn't smart enough for college, paralyzed by self-doubt. She'd skip applications, feeling doomed. Inspired by Angelou, she reframed, "I'm not ready yet, but I can study." She took one practice test weekly. Her scores climbed, she enrolled, and now studies psychology. Reframing isn't about ignoring limits. It's about seeing them as temporary, building a mindset that thrives on growth. Another key step is to embrace effort over talent. Value hard work and learning, not just innate gifts. Celebrate the process, studying, practicing, improving, rather than just outcomes. I learned this from Michael Jordan, who said, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships." He wasn't born the greatest, He practiced relentlessly, missing thousands of shots to master his craft. I used to think success needed natural brilliance. I'd give up if counseling felt hard. Jordan's effort inspired me. I focused on small wins, like refining a session plan. My skills grew, my practice tripled, and I wrote a bestseller. Sarah embraced effort, too. She studied nightly, not envying smart peers. Her grades soared, and she tutors now. Effort over talent shifts your focus from who you are to who you're becoming, planting seeds for a growth mindset that blooms over time.
Those are such powerful starting points, Christopher. Reframing challenges and valuing effort. Angelou and Jordan make it so tangible. But what about when setbacks, like failing a project or missing a goal, make you feel like giving up? How do you keep a growth mindset then?
Oh, Emily, setbacks can hit hard. They tempt you to think, I'm just not cut out for this, pulling you back to a fixed mindset. The key is to view failure as feedback. Instead of a verdict on your worth, see it as data. What worked, what didn't, what's next. One tool is a failure journal. Write down the setback, what you learned, and one step forward. This turns pain into progress. I draw from J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection, saying, it's impossible to live without failing unless you live so cautiously you might as well not have lived. Her growth mindset birthed Harry Potter. When a workshop I led bombed, attendees left early, feedback stung. I felt like a fraud, ready to quit. Rowling's persistence helped. I journaled. Pacing was off. I learned to engage faster. I tweaked my next talk. It sold out, boosting my career. I coached a client named Michael, a salesman who missed a big deal, convinced he was no good. He wanted to coast. Inspired by Rowling, he journaled, I pitched too hard. I'll listen more. His next client signed, and he hit top ranks. Failure as feedback keeps setbacks from defining you. It fuels your growth mindset, turning stumbles into steps. Another strategy is to seek constructive criticism. Feedback from mentors or peers shows you how to improve, reinforcing that growth is possible. I learned this from Nelson Mandela, who welcomed critique to refine his vision, saying, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. His openness shaped a nation. Post-workshop, I asked a colleague for notes. They suggested stories. I added them, and my talk soared. Michael sought his boss's input. Less push, more trust. His sales doubled. Criticism and failure aren't threats. They're gifts for a growth mindset, guiding you to evolve.
That's so empowering, Christopher. Failure as feedback and criticism as growth. Rowling and Mandela bring it to life. You've mentioned incredible figures like Angelou and Jordan. Are there other famous people whose growth mindsets inspire you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. Growth mindsets shine through so many remarkable lives. Take Malala Yousafzai, who embraced learning despite danger, saying, with guns you can kill terrorists, with education you can kill terrorism. Her belief in growth earned a Nobel and changed education globally. When my coaching hit a rut, clients plateaued. I leaned on Malala's courage. I studied new methods, like mindfulness. My sessions deepened. My books flew off shelves. I coached a client named Olivia, a nurse who thought she'd never lead. Malala's mindset led her to train. She's now a charge nurse, saving lives. Another is Satya Nadella, who revived Microsoft with a growth mindset, saying, don't be a know-it-all, be a learn-it-all. His curiosity drove innovation. When a talk flopped, Nadella's learning inspired me. I took a speaking course. My next keynote packed halls. Olivia, inspired by Nadella, studied management. Her unit thrives. Then there's Serena Williams, who says, every defeat is a lesson. Her growth mindset won 23 Grand Slams through relentless practice. I coached a client named Ethan, a coder stuck on errors, feeling dumb. Serena's lessons led him to debug daily. He built a startup, now mentoring. These icons, Malala's courage, Nadella's curiosity, Serena's resilience, show a growth mindset isn't born, it's built, unlocking lives of impact.
Those stories are so uplifting, Christopher. Malala, Nadella, Serena, they show growth's power. What about when comparison, like seeing others succeed faster, traps you in a fixed mindset? How do you stay focused on growth?
Comparison is a mindset killer. Emily, It whispers you're behind, locking you in not enough. The key is to focus on your own progress. Measure yourself against your past, not others' highlights. One tool is a growth log. Weekly, note one way you've improved, learned a skill, tried harder to see your path. I draw from Michelle Obama, who says, "Success isn't about how your life looks to others. It's about how it feels to you." Her focus fueled her advocacy. When peers published faster, I felt small. My book wasn't as good. Obama's wisdom helped. I logged wins, wrote a chapter, helped a client. It grounded me. My book hit lists. I coached a client named Rachel, a teacher jealous of colleagues' awards, doubting her skills. She felt stuck. Inspired by Obama, she logged lessons planned. Her confidence grew. She won a grant. Focusing on progress kills comparison, nurturing growth. Another strategy is curating inspiration, not envy. Seek role models who motivate, not intimidate. Read their stories, skip social media's gloss. I learned this from Oprah Winfrey, who says, "Surround yourself with people who lift you higher." Her circle drives her empire. I read biographies, not feeds. My mindset stayed open. My coaching grew. Rachel read teaching memoirs. Her classes shone. Inspiration and progress keep your growth mindset thriving, free from comparison's trap.
That's so liberating, Christopher. Progress and inspiration over envy. Obama and Oprah make it clear. How do we sustain a growth mindset long term, especially when life's pressures or doubts creep back?
Sustaining a growth mindset is like tending a garden. It flourishes with care, even through storms. One habit is daily reflection. Spend 5 minutes noting what you learned, new idea, small win, to reinforce growth. I learned this from Carol Dweck, who says, "The passion for stretching yourself keeps you growing." Her research birthed this field. I reflect nightly. What worked, what didn't. It keeps me open. My talks thrive. I coached a client named Anna, a lawyer rattled by losses. Dweck's reflection led her to note daily wins. She won a case, mentoring now. Another key is lifelong learning. Commit to one new skill yearly, coding, writing, to stay curious. Albert Einstein said, "Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death." His curiosity reshaped physics. I study yearly, psychology, tech. My coaching evolves. Anna learned mediation. Her practice soared. Also, celebrate effort. Reward trying, not just winning. Treat yourself to coffee for starting. Desmond Tutu said, "Do your little bit of good where you are." His effort reconciled nations. I cheer my tries, a walk post-talk. My energy stays high. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman missing quotas. Tutu's effort led him to celebrate calls. He hit targets, coaching peers. Finally, anchor to purpose. Your why, service, love, holds growth firm. Viktor Frankl endured for meaning, saying, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but by lack of purpose." My why, uplifting, drives me. These habits, reflection, learning, effort, purpose, sustain a growth mindset forever.
Those are such vibrant tools, Christopher. Dweck's reflection, Einstein's curiosity, Frankel's purpose. It's a blueprint for growth. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to build a growth mindset today?
My biggest advice is to embrace one learning moment now. A growth mindset starts with a single, brave step toward progress. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who grew through trials, saying, "I don't think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday." For me, it was that first feedback, sparking a life I love. One last story. I coached a single mom named Lauren, a clerk who felt too old to learn, stuck in routine. We looked at Nelson Mandela, who learned in prison, saying, "Education is the most powerful weapon." Lauren read one article weekly. It grew. She studied coding, built apps, and teaches kids. If Lauren can grow, so can you. Pick one act today, read a page, try a task, say yet. That step builds a life of boundless growth.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Christopher. Lauren's story, alongside legends like Lincoln and Mandela, shows growth is for everyone. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to embrace their potential.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to grow without limits.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation sparked your curiosity, and I'm certain it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every empowering episode. Share this with someone ready to learn, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep building your growth mindset one brave step at a time.